Welcome everybody. It was a little bit tight on time for me personally, but I think we're making it here. We are finally back for race number 3 in Spain, and we are almost experiencing a full grid. I think a few drivers will join after quali or mid-quali. Yeah, race number 3. Will more people finish this time compared to the last time? Obviously in Zandvoort, quite a deadly race, only 9 people arrived in the finish. Oh, and it's a wet qualifying. Of course, we as a spectator have no overview over the weather involved in these sessions. So, yeah, we can just keep guessing how the race is going to be looking like. But quali seems to be wet. Let's hope that the session is loading properly. As usually, I think it took about a minute or something until we got into a proper qualifying session. But yeah, welcome to you all guys in the chat, watching and driving potentially even. If there are some fellow drivers in the chat, you may just tell me how the weather is as soon as you can get into the menu as soon as the session actually starts here. I think it may still be drivers loading, but obviously we don't see the loading screen anymore. But yeah, here we are in the qualifying session. So let's give us the minimap, etc. Intermediate is seemingly the way thus far, so it's not full wet. Yeah, it's wet in the quali, but how's it looking in the race, Eric? Is it wet as well? That would be a bit of a shame. I think it's quite hard to overtake in Spain already, but to overtake in the wet is probably even a little bit harder. As we're on board with DP here. Let's see, can I find the right hotkey? Yeah. There we go. Ari's saying I'm gonna lose my mind. I think he's been preparing for a dry session. Dry and wet in the race. Okay, that's gonna be spicy. Start dry, then wet, then dry again. Oh my. That's like the worst of it. I guess like having to transition twice between wet and not wet. Might be some soft into soft strats that we're gonna see then. Very interesting strategically how this is going to go in the race, and obviously we can have a little bit of an idea about how well each individual driver is going to do in these changeable conditions in the race. In this qualifying already, as this is intermediate conditions as well, I will only assume that in the race we're not reaching fully wet conditions when it goes back to dry in the end. So, the two McLarens very close to each other here, with Brandao, whoops, just behind, and now he kind of realized that he should maybe leave some space. I think we'll jump on board with DP again here, as he's going to be the first one to start an actual hot lap. And yeah, let's see how he does. Oh, Cherry retired from the session. I feel like the Haas driver has been spinning out on the exit of that right-hander into Sector 2. Must be turn 9. Little uphill turn can be quite hard to control your car if you take too much curb. As DP obviously sets purple first sector. No one else has driven it before him. At least not on a timed lap. And yellow flags in Sector 1. I think, yeah, that was just Cherry respawning in the garage. Yeah, he has it all to do in the race now, starting from the back. Might profit from some chaos that can eventually occur. But yeah, for now, let's see how well the drivers that are still going do. And DP here. Ooh, this might... Okay, it's not invalid actually. Left the track with quite some wheels. And it looked like Brandao behind him had the better lap thus far. immediately all the sectors that DP left turned from purple into normal sectors, because I think Brandao is beating his teammate thus far, but had a little bit of a spin in Sector 3. Let's see. Nope, Brandao an entire second quicker. Eric Pablo just narrowly behind. Let's jump over to Aries here in the Aston Martin in Sector 2. Has promised Herbie a good qualifying lap. Excuse me. Let's see if he can deliver. Here, approaching into the treacherous turn that killed Cherry. Running a little bit wide. We're on strict corner cut-in rules. But it seems like the rules aren't that strict, apparently. So you can run off the track by quite some bit without getting an invalid lap. Now, Aries approaching these last few turns. I think unanimously hated amongst the F1 game fan base. Not feeling very good to drive. And, yeah. Only there for safety issues, of course. High 127 puts him into P3 for now. Let's look at the Mercs here. That was not the best exit for Rakes. But it seems like he's still going. So yeah, up onto the straight. No DRS active in the rain. No purple middle sector. Unfortunately, I do not quite know yet what appropriate times for each sector would be. So he had a 58 point something. Don't know whether that was rather good or bad. And ooh, there is a Ferrari in the wall, it seems. Or a Haas. Torres could be running wide there. Nope. Ferrari. Trying to spin around, and the Haas as well. Maybe there was contact. We don't know. Rakes up into P4 for now. Let's jump down. I was about to jump down to Kurtzer, but Kurtzer has just set the fastest lap. Instead, we're gonna see Toru, who might have been in the Ferrari that has just spun. Nope. Seems to have been Rido. And Thiago Torres, of course, in the next lap. It's not going to be a good hot lap for him, given that he had no exit speed out of the last turn. Who else is potentially still on a run? Con has been doing a couple. Has already completed 2 laps on the Inters. Let's see if he's going for a third. Definitely not. Marcelian? Nope. Fabian. That looks decent, I think. Purple first sector. Fabian in the Alpha Tauri here. Yeah, locking up quite something. But he's not sliding out. I think he's not playing with many assists, so it's quite hard to control the car in the rain. As we're going onwards into Sector 2. Treacherous uphill right-hander here. He gets a little bit of a slipstream here by the Alpine, I think it was. Still can't tell the blue dots apart. Really worked a little bit better when they had like a different color of dot. And then there were different colors of outlines. I don't know which game that was actually, but like they had Alfa Romeo, for example, being a white dot with the Bordeaux outline that they have as the main color right now. Fabian. Exiting the last turn. This is not looking too bad. Quite an improvement up into P8 here. And over to Rakes, who has had a little bit of a weaker sector 1. Let's see if he can compensate in the middle sector. This one's quite a... Well, this set of turns really is quite dangerous. The chicane and then the uphill right-hander. It's quite easy to spin there. It's really the only 2 turns where you really have to take care. I mean, in this one we just saw Rakes almost spin as well. This can be hard if you take the curbs too much or are too aggressive with the throttle. But yeah, many slow turns in this circuit. Slow turns, or rather those that are not entirely slow, like this one's, but rather like 3rd and 4th gear. It's quite easy to spin with these cars. Last chicane, of course. yeah, rather hard to spin. However, Rakes, on his third lap here, has improved by a 10th and thus jumped 2 positions up in P4 now. Tame Tom has, in the meantime, taken pole, but he's in the pits. Who else is out? Eric. Yeah, Eric is on a good lap apparently. 0.1 up in the first sector. He's gonna be trying to push into the 26s as well. And he has improved even further, 0.37. After sector 2 has to get a semi-decent last sector. And then he's gonna be in a good position already, I think. If he can bring this home, he's in P2. Obviously, he's gonna be looking for that pole position in the Williams. Let's see. Last turn. Early on the throttle. And no ERS left here. 0.4 better. It's ultimately only gonna be P2 for him. But yeah, he's not gonna be too sad about that. Brandao has cut corner already in the first turn. Jump further down the field. Nuve currently, after having a stunning qualifying session last week, right now is not looking too good. 0.3 behind his times. And oh, Rakes, who he just jumped off from, has set a new provisional pole time, but it looks like the track is drying up a little bit, so the conditions might get better, and we may see some better laps now. Well. Right now, Nuve is second slower than his previous best lap, but it looks like he's taken more speed here. And this may really be his real attempt, whereas the lap before may have been more of a warm-up lap here. Carefully on the power here. Oh yeah, and it looks like the track is getting a bit better, or Aries is just way above everyone else's league. 125.6, an entire 1.2 seconds quicker than the previous fastest lap. What a banger of a time, giving him the provisional pole for now. Let's see what Nuve can make out of these apparently improving track conditions. Running very wide here, and this is not looking too good. Grinding on the curbs a little bit as we go into the left-hander. And he keeps control of his car. Does not look too good throughout. He's missing a lot of the apexes, of course, not too easy in the wet, and especially in changeable conditions. It might be that the inters are already overheating. We see a couple of guys in the pits still have already put slicks on. Thiago Torres on the outlap, disqualified for driving the wrong way. Not really what you would like to do, I guess. Haas is starting from the back, doing a a good impression of the IRL Haases. And Aris here, we saw it on the Delta on the top, is second slower after the first 2 sectors. Might just be that the track is actually getting good for softs sooner or later now. Let's see. Lovely Cans, currently sitting in P5. Taking another try on the inters. Oh, he does slide a lot on the entry of these turns. And yeah, he almost losing it as well. Surely not fast. That must have cost about a second. Yeah, 0.6 down right now. I think it might be possible to go for a soft run in the very end of this qualifying. Rakes right now. 125.5 on old inters. He's been out there for a while. And has now set the new best time. I think there was an improvement of of Con that I just spotted into P4. Let's see what Lovely Cans can do here. And the AlphaTauri approaching Sector 3. Still a bit down, could not make up time to his previous PB. So yeah, track conditions might not be optimal just yet. Yeah, Con is not going too fast as well. far off the racing line as well. As we have Tame Tom here. He seems like he's still being on a fast run. And his time might be decent. Oh, I think Lovely Cans has binned it in the last turn on the exit. Is currently stationary on the start-finish straight. And now going again. I feel like quite a bunch of drivers are gonna take their chances on the soft compound. And oh, that was a little bit of a wide exit for Tame Tom here, thus making the lap invalid. He does not improve his time anyways. I'm really curious to see when the first soft runners are exiting the pits. And for the Inter guys, if they want to have a soft run, they have to get back into the pits rather sooner than later. Because, yeah, you have to take the outlap into account as well. And yeah, thus I think you kind of have to exit the pits at about 2 minutes left. So about 1.5 minutes here. To get back into the box for the Inter runners. More and more people putting on softs in the pits already, waiting for their moment to leave. And yeah, right now Toru 2.5. Oh, wait, no, that was the previous lap. Half a second up on his PB after Sector 1. A couple of guys are still going for these Inter times. I was saying I could go out on Inters and maybe beat Drakes, but I think I'm gonna wait till the last second and try softs. I think that is the move that most of the guys will be going for. It's gonna be treacherous conditions, of course. The track is gonna be ice cold and still sort of wet. Toru does not seem like Inters can make it up to the top times right now. So only a second faster would put him in the area of Noof. So yeah. Con on an outlap on Inters, fresh Inters. And a couple of other guys on fresh Inters on an outlap. Not many putting faith in these softs. As I think now the first few guys should be leaving the pits with soft tires. Otherwise it's just gonna be too late. Toru has improved up into P7. And there we have, is that Rijks or is it Marceljan? Marceljan is it with new Inters. And Kurtzer on the softs. Previous race winner, of course. Let's see what they can do. Oh god, and Aris has retired. I think they wanted to go out on softs and yeah, saying the Twitch chat he messed up. But by the looks of it, Kurtz is not looking too confident on the soft compound. So it may not have been time for soft tires just yet anyways. I think until he starts his next hot lap, we'll jump on board with Con, who is right now the first of the guys in fresh Inters out on the track in the Aston. Approaching someone who is very slow on the optimal line. That was a Red Bull. It's not very cash money of whoever that was. And it wasn't a Red Bull, it was an AlphaTauri. Well, Kurtzer did look decent in the time there. If it was really a 57 out on track. I mean, you can't really take the pit exit into account. Let's see. Yellow Sector 2. How much time is there left in the session? Would you please show me the actual time and not just that there are yellow flags? Well, 8 seconds, so just a few drivers can make it through actually. Will Mealy even make it through, or is he already on a run? No. A couple of drivers will not be getting over the line. Mealy though into P4 here in the Alfa Romeo. So not many people can improve here. This is looking seriously good. Rakes can't improve on his best lap for so far. Kurtzer is pretty much tying his time so far. Might be finding some in the middle sector, but it seems like the softs are not quite better than the inters just yet. Tame Tom jumping Aris, demoting him into the second row there. Instead it's going to be the Red Bull on the front row. Unless there's some changes coming out of this man here. Eric Pablo is on a run still as well. But yeah, it seems like the time is just pretty much perfectly tied with the previous PB. Track's looking reasonably dry now, but it's a little bit too late, I guess, for Kurtzer to really make an impact. Let's see who else can improve potentially. A couple of guys going over the line, and there's Franta with the pole on the inters. I think Newf has jumped up a little bit as well, yeah, into P9. Kurtzer coming through, improving into P11, but that was all that... Okay. Yeah, that fitted very well with the end of qualifying, music kicking in, and we just go on to Fabian spinning. However, mixed conditions in quali will leave Franta on pole, Rakes in P2, the second Red Bull in the second row, and then Aris in the Aston. Good qualifying result for him, just 0.2 down really. And the second Mercedes is very close up there as well, and with the Marceljan. Mealy, first Alpha, first showing for Mealy as well in this season, followed by Brandau, the better of the two McLarens in this quali. Con and Newf, second drivers of their respective team in this quali as well. Williams is in P10 and 11, and afterwards outside of the top 10 we have a wild mix of certain teams, different teams and different drivers. Let's see how this race start is going to be then. Yeah, we will have this little perspective until we get going again. As the players are currently loading into the lobby, and then they will of course make their strategies. I wonder how long the rain's gonna take, when it's gonna set in. Yeah, Aris saying higher start for me, can't wait to be collected into turn 1. Turn 1 is a kind of a tough place here. Breaking Point is far away from the start. Quite a rundown into turn 1, and then it's a reasonably quick one, so yeah, the overtaking opportunities are surely there, but it's going to be very tight. We will see 2 wide, maybe even 3 wide in the first turn. And keep in mind, no rain now apparently. Okay, we have a dry race going, and it will go immediately as formation lap is off due to bugs. Let's see who wins this start. Lights off. And they go. I think it's always the little delay. Franta getting away very good here, I think. And the other Red Bull as well. Tame Tom already through into P1. P1, P2. Rakes now being attacked by Aris on the inside. But he's not going to make a move just yet. Instead, Rakes back into P2. And it is Marceljan against Mealy a little bit further down here. Let's have a look at that. Marceljan going inside of turn 3 and going through. Ultimately, Eric Pablo is going to try to have a move up here as well. And does so successfully. Nicely done there, squeezing Mealy to the outside. Kurtz's already up in P8. And Rakes has moved up into P2. Yet again, Tame Tom has been passed by Aris, who got sent wide by Rakes there onto the gravel. But he kept control of his car, now trying to go around the outside. Gets sent over the curb as well. Quite a hard battle between the two here. And it is ultimately going to be Aris in P3. Tame Tom P4 now. A lot of drivers going side by side here. Now it is Tame Tom trying to make the move down the inside. Aris trying to stick it out on the outside. No big incidents thus far, I think. Even though the McLaren seemed like they had something going with Toru there further down in the field here. Hilevs and Eric Pablo battling in the blue cars here. The 3 guys. 2 Williams and then Hilevs in the sandwich in the Alpine. And Tame Tom is trying to get past Aris again, but Aris has the extra speed and will remain ahead. And even Marceljan, I think, has a good overtaking opportunity. Thank you, camera. for showing us this one. Also, Jan up into P4, it seems. Tame Tom and Mealy now having at it. A little bit of a, oh my god, collision further down, and this is Marcel Jan being collected by several drivers here. Front wing damaged by several people. 5-second penalties for Lovely Cans, I think. And yikes, this is a tough start for Marcel Jan there, spinning out and then ultimately getting collected by several other drivers, all the way down to P11 now. And, well, Cherry has really made it up there, starting all the way from the back there in P9 already in the points. Let's jump on board, I think. We've seen a lot of perspectives of the, starting here, TV camera thingy. All of them are on mediums. Very interesting. And yeah, VSC, Franta drive through in the lead there. Could not wait to get going after VSC again and did go faster than his delta allowed. And that could shake up some things. Franta in the lead, of course. Oh, and Franta has crashed. Both Red Bulls spinning out. Franta there standing on the apex, DNFing immediately, and there may have been more contact. Yellow flags in Sector 3 for sure. Rakes and Aries have gone away nicely here. And that is quite the chaotic start to the race again. Quite a couple of guys in the pits going for front wing exchanges. I can only assume Marcel Jan gotten crashed into quite a bunch of times. And yeah, it's the top two now going away here. Oh, and Fabian. Is Fabian the new cursed Aston, as, yeah, we've just swapped over to him for the second time, and for the second time he's found the wall, but he manages to get going again. I don't think he has damage, and he can be quite lucky that he got out of the gravel trap up in the lead. DRS is going to be activated next lap, actually, or even already is in this lap. However, Rakes has plenty of ERS to defend against Aries here. He's gonna wait out quite a bit, I think, in the DRS zone, just trying to put pressure on the leading Merc to drain that ERS from the car in front. But yeah, I think Aries is gonna be quite happy in P2 anyways. Fastest lap for him, and he has DRS activated as well, but he's so far away. Rakes is really flying through that last sector. Let's jump down to Rito here, who is narrowly behind DP. And has ERS and DRS activated. Might look for a move down the inside here. Let's see, no moving under braking. Very nicely defended, if defended. Rito's going through without much of a fight here. And yeah, the McLarens that we saw in the beginning being all the way down behind the pack are now in P7 and P8 due to the stuff that has happened further up. Kurtzer getting past Cherry, I think it is, who pitted for hard laps? Hard tires? Soft tires, I think. Thiago Torres, the other horse in the pits for hard. Yeah, a lot of contact, a lot of chaos early on. And Rakes seems to be flying away from Aries. I think he may have... Yeah, he did not want to fight too much. Conserve his tires, maybe Aries here. And stay out of the dirty air. Just control the race in P2. And wait for a mishap for Rakes here. Rakes with the new fastest lap, 120.9. Decent one, first 120 of this race. We will see more of that later on, of course. I think medium hard, by the way, is going to be the strategy for pretty much every one of these guys. Tame Tom with the DRS, but does not use the ERS. The Alfa Romeos are looking stunning as well. I did not actually realize it's Mealy and Nuve in P3 and 4. What a performance by them. Really good at staying out of trouble. However, Tame Tom is trying to cause some trouble to Nuve soon. Will look for the overtake. And then there's a sizable gap to the other Alpha that Tame Tom has to close first. So, yeah, we'll see. Tame Tom surely is gonna get DRS on the back straight here. And then he's gonna go for a move on the main straight, unless Noofs gets a terrible exit, really. Oh, there is a spin. I think it was Muno. Might have been Muno there, being a lap down. Side-by-side racing here. Tame Tom trying to go around the outside of Noof. Well controlled by both of them. Noof is not sliding into him. Still side-by-side here. Nice. Oh, that was... yeah, an Alpine must have been Muno then. And that may have given Noof another lap in front of the Red Bull car. Oh, Aries with his spin. Aries with his spin in turn 2. He has been just behind Rakes. Maybe the dirty air was a little bit too much for him here. And now he is behind Mealy. 1 second. Hey, Yabsinio in the chat. You can come join if you want. But I assume you're quite tired from your travels. Next week, we're definitely gonna get up in this together. However, Tame Tom has made it past Noof here into turn 4 and is now finally free and can chase after the top 3. Just watching without sound, by the way. Okay, then me saying something will probably not have much impact, I guess. Let's go down to Fabian here, who is closing up on Toru. It's almost in the DRS window. I think that's what he's trying to do before the next straight. DRS detection points right here, and he is comfortably within 1 second. Has to keep it on track, and does so very well. Closes about 2/10 is what the DRS has given you on this straight. If you don't miss the braking point, that is. And yeah. He's gonna go for a move down the main straight, most likely. As he is pushing closer and closer to Toru again, who has had controller issues in the past. Seem to be fixed here. Decent exit by Fabian, and Toru had a little bit of a slide, and that should give him the extra speed to contest this position. It's getting closer and closer, going down the inside into turn 1, very far up the inside, making it unnecessarily hard for him to get that turn. He might go for a run here, and Toru lets him through. Oh no, Toru actually just lost it. Okay. The result is the same though. It's just got carried too far to the outside on the dirty track. And there we are. And right behind him, I think Hilevs has lost it just as Toru has before. A little bit of a spinny track. Aries has made it past Mealy here. Or has he? I think that might have been some desync issues for Mealy. However, Aries is going to try to make exactly that happen, what we've just seen as a little bit of a preview. Using a lot of ERS to get into an attacking zone on Mealy here. Brandao, 3-second time penalty. First corner cut penalty, I think it is. Oh, and a spin by the Haas. That was rather dangerous, but I think they could not do much better to avoid collision here, and ultimately it's going to be Aries. Yeah, profiting from the entire situation as he had to slow down less compared to Mealy. Aries back up into P2, and we'll see what's going down here. Hilevs and Lovelycan. Toru. Where's Toru? Toru may have crashed into the pit entry, or may have just spun again. It's not been the best day for him so far. Hilevs can't quite make a move here, way too far away from Lovelycans on the hard compound. He's gonna try to push past him rather soonish anyways, as long as he has the tire advantage, of course. Further up, Mealy is in the DRS window of Aries, has full ERS. Now that's a sight you want to be seeing before attacking. Has not spent anything apparently while defending against Aries, but got a worse exit out of the chicane there. Can he still make up enough ground to go for an overtake there? Another Ferrari spinning out. I think that must have been Toru again. And he might be stuck in the gravel trap. I don't know. We may see. Making room towards the inside. We're gonna see soon here. These two guys are gonna be lapping said Ferrari soon. And Mealy could not make it close enough to Aries, given that the exit that he had out of the chicane wasn't really the best. Let's jump further down. Marcellian, one of the top contenders, has won a race and has been on the podium in the other. He's currently sitting in P15 in his Merc. And kind of stuck behind Eric Pablo here, even though Eric Pablo should have decent pace as well. He said that his pace was almost matching up with the top guys. And Eric Pablo, fun fact, is not living too far away from the circuit IRL. And yeah, maybe has been there IRL as well. I don't know. He's defending quite fiercely here, not letting Marcellian through at all. And there's another Haas spinning. The Haas's really do not have the best time today. I think it's Cherry actually DNFing. Probably has ended in the wall there. That was just after the chicane, so if you spin in the first one, you pretty much guarantee yourself a spot in the wall. And that is likely what happened to Cherry there. As we go back to this three-way battle, Toru, I think, again, losing it a little bit in the third turn. Has had controller issues in the past, as said. Maybe that's that again, causing him to lose the car very frequently, because he's usually more consistent. However, let's jump up to Hilevs here, who's still stuck behind Lovelycans. It does seem like the guys with better tires aren't necessarily having the advantage here. Oh my god! And that is a big spin for Hilevs. Can he keep the car running in the gravel? It does look like it thus far. To care to not dig himself into the gravel trap here. You can get stuck here. Wilcon saying, let's go Aries. Aren't you supposed to be driving as well, my guy? Multitasking, I guess. Yeah, Brandao is just narrowly behind his teammate. I don't think there's going to be much fighting going on. It's just costing time, and the two obviously being override teammates as well in Rocket Sundays will likely be in VC communicating their strategies together. Maybe we can see a swap of position. Brandao does look like he's a bit quicker. Fair enough. So, up into P3 here. Mealy is still stuck behind Aries. Aries does have very limited ERS here, on 11%. It's not looking so good against Mealy's 76. Definitely a bit of a better position for the Alpha driver, and DP and Brandao have swapped positions. I think it was a loss of traction for DP after turn 1. And then Brandao just skipped through. Further down the field, Marcellian has made it past Eric Pablo and is now chasing after Con. And where's Hilevs? Hilevs has... Wasn't he stuck behind someone on hard tires as well? Or am I just... Oh no, he spun! Yeah, I forgot. He was behind Lovelycans. And is now all the way down to P15. The next battle I think we have coming up, Mealy and Aries are not doing much against each other. I think they just accepted that, things are the way they are. Hilevs has spun again in turn 3 and has been overtaken by Thiago Torres. And, oh, there's an Alpha out there. There is an Alpha. Mealy has spun out in P3 and is now in P4 after that crucial turn 3 mishap that he just had. Dirty tires now, probably very hot as well. Yeah, has to try here to not spin again, and likely will have to let his teammate by. I think that's Toru behind Noof here. Yeah, that's not Rido, it's the other Ferrari. So no pressure for the two Alphas just yet, and yeah, Mealy lets Noof through. The two of them are on VC, I saw them earlier. The right call, I think, to let Noof go now that he has the pace. Yellow flags, sector 2 and 3. What has happened? We don't see. Toru can't really go for a move here. He's a lap down in the end. So yeah, does not have the right to fight for position. What has happened to Con? Con has been overtaken by Marcelian, I think. Who's that up ahead of them? I think that might be Muno, who's sending or leaving them through here, or at least leaving Marcelian through. I think Con is going to be the next. Up on the back straight, even gets DRS, gonna be very nice for him. Yeah, Alpine moving over to the left. Oh, Sector 3, a Ferrari out. Oh, it's Rido. Rido in the gravel trap. It's rejoining behind Fabian Gaming and the two McLarens. I must say, there are more people spinning here than I anticipated. Toru has done it again, is in the traps. But made it out. It's waiting to rejoin behind Fabian, I think, most likely. Yep. Gets going again just ahead of his Ferrari teammate. Well, well, well. Mealy is following up quite well to Nuve though, and I think he's gonna re-overtake him here. Yeah, Mealy seems to be having the better pace overall, and will lead the two Alfa Romeos in P4 and 5. Very nice going there. Well, well, well. Wait, what? Okay, I'm a little bit confused right now. Oh wait, Con may actually be Connor and not Lil Con, right? Am I just confused? We have too many Cons in here. Well, well, well. Now, yeah, I think I'm gonna carry through solo for this one. Next week, Yap is back there anyways, in the next week, so we're gonna be 2 again. And given that we're halfway through already, yeah, Con in there is Connor. Okay, cool, cool. I thought Con was you, given that you and Aris obviously have your connection in Rocket Sundays as well, but yeah, it's a different Connor. As we go to Fabian here, I think it's going to be the next battle, really, as DP has lost DRS on his teammate, and instead Fabian is all the way up here. Ooh, yellow flags, I think that's lovely cans in P2, turn 2, and in Sector 1 there may be a retirement. Yeah, Toru retiring in the pits, Toru crying. I do not participate in FS because I would probably get kicked. Oh yeah, to be honest, I think Aris was telling me about it, that you were relatively new to the Formula 1 games, but I know that you play them. So maybe one day we see you. Oh, and Rido with the DNF. What has happened there? Let's jump to Thiago Torres, who's gonna approach yeah, crash next, I think. Yeah, Rido has spun out there, it seems, and has just DNF'd. Or he is still able to drive. I think he may have just spun out and then did retire anyways. Mealy coming out of the pits right into this battle between Fabian and DP. And it looks like Fabian is going to make it stick here up the inside into turn 1. He's gained the position on DP. Let's jump back to Mealy and watch this from his perspective, or rather from DP. Mealy is a little bit further away than I thought. There has been contact. Fabian, can he keep control? He sort of saved it, I guess. Yeah, good car control by Fabian here. What a move that initially was. Ultimately, of course, he got shunted a little bit onto the grass. But yeah, it did not matter too much just yet. I wonder if Mealy is gonna start fighting these two. I have a very aggressive drive style and would probably crash people out, since I do like myself a dive. Okay, yeah. I did also never respect an AI in my life, and it did not help me in FS. Actually, it makes me very anxious with driving against real people, so probably not very quick. Fabian is going into the pits, trying the undercut on DP here. And yeah, I think lap 16 is really the point where you sort of want to come in if you want to go one stop with the hard compound as your second set of tires. We see Mealy already having the better pace, better grip with the hard compound against DP, who is on the old mediums, of course. DP can't quite follow Mealy through here. Brandao has pitted, so I assume DP is going to be next in the upcoming lap, given that his teammate at McLaren has just done the first step. I think Kurtzer, I don't know if he's mad enough to actually try to finish the race on this compound. Hard tires for him. I don't know how long they last. I mean, he must drive around 29 laps on them, so that's quite a distance actually. Can't drive behind people or in front. Yeah, same with me. Like, I'm super bad in front. I just make mistakes when people are in front. Behind is actually alright, because I'm quite good at just sticking the nose in, letting them know that I'm about to overtake and then not do it and wait until they make a mistake. But yeah, driving ahead of people is very difficult. Let's see. Kurtz on Nuve. Nuve has the newer compound, but not the DRS, of course. DP in the pit, as predicted. Second McLaren getting the hard tires. Rake's the only one of the top guys yet to pit now. As Thiago Torres is still on relatively old mediums, but I don't know how long he's gonna try to push them. DP. Oh, he's gonna be exiting behind Fabian again. And I think by quite a margin, right? Whoop. It's not too much actually, but it is a little bit of space that Fabian has of an advantage now. He's already out of the DRS window, so that's good for him. Back to Kurtze, less than half a second away from Nuve here. He's getting under some serious attack. Marslian has made it up here as well, P7 right now. If he can go through, this is not looking too bad for him neither. Nuve. Really squeezing Kurtze to the outside, though all fair, no contact. He had the inside line, he's allowed to do that. You don't have the 22 games, okay, fair. He replaced me with another Connor. Yikes. Yeah, fair. Well. Muno ignoring blue flag, being a lap down there. Usually a driver with a lot of pace, so maybe he was just not feeling it or the necessity to slow down to get overtaken just yet. Williams, Kurtzer. Oh, that is some side-by-side racing. Kurtzer has to care to not lose traction here. You can easily slide outside into Nuve, and he goes through. Yellow flag in sector 2 and 3, but I don't see anything actually on track. Oh, Nuve still to the outside. Got squeezed there a tiny bit, but I think it was all fair. He still had a car's width of room. And ultimately Kurtze made it stick and goes up another position. Fabian is now stuck behind the other McLaren. A little bit of a lockup here for him. Half a second only, so I assume on the back straight he's gonna be able to make a move into turn 9. Or is it 10? I think it's 10. With the DRS, yeah, way better exit for Fabian, running very wide there as Brandao. And he'll have a go around the outside. Oh yeah, okay, that's the outside of the track even. So I guess we're gonna wait for another move on the main straight, where I think we'll jump to Nuve real quick. Nah, Nuve is too far away, he's not gonna make a move here. Kurtze will stay ahead for now. Instead, over here, Fabian Gaming, decent exit out of the chicane. Can he get the traction down? I think he can. ERS, DRS activated. Brandao going to the inside to defend, sending Fabian around the outside. It's not too bad to overtake around the outside in turn 1. Gives you a decent line into turn 2. And I think he cut Brandao quite a bit there. But ultimately, everything's been working out fine. Let's see, Nuve is still close to Kurtze. At what point do the hearts drop off? Would be interesting to know how long they can last here in general. I think, like, going to the end is highly unlikely. I would assume Kurtzer will just set another stint with the softs in the end. However, looking at Rakes, who's going 19 laps on his medium tire, it can't be too bad, right? I mean, we see on his tires already, you see these little lines slightly right from the center on the right tire. It's usually a good sign that the tire's on his last legs, so yeah, I'm not too sure how much longer. Oh, this might be... front right is looking like it's on the verge of being a flat spot. I'm gonna be honest. I really hope Rakes is coming in. Oh, he's not. Okay, we're gonna see if he overdoes it. But look at that front right tire. Like, it's not looking good at all. Yellow flag, sector 2 and 3. I don't see where. Everyone's still going. So yeah, Aris and Con very close together, but I don't think there's going to be any fighting. Oh, probably because Con was slowing down to let Aris by, obviously being lapped and trying to not hold his teammate off at all. Oh, Brandao. Oh yeah, Brandao and DP have been changing positions back and forth, really. Brandao has 6 seconds of corner cutting penalties, though. So he should really let DP go here, I think. Even though he might be the quicker driver, it is no use for him. Okay, good thing that this wasn't Aries. There was... oops. Yep, there was a little bit of a spin of one of the Astons, and it was, in the end, Con. Doesn't matter too much for him, he lost 1 position. Yeah, nothing too bad. Nuve finally had to let Kurtz go. As Kurtz... oh boy, what? Con with exceeded track limits, 10-second time penalty. That's quite something, not much more and you get disqualified. But yeah, Nuve doing a good job, I think, holding on to P6, given that Kurtz likely will drop off at some point, or will have issues with his tires. As we are waiting for Rakes to get issues with his tires, really. 21 laps on softs is quite insane. He's been driving very, very controlled. Yeah, this Con is the exact same as me. What a coincidence. Coincidence, I guess. Yeah. I'm really curious how long this thing's gonna last. Like, top front right tire looks so shaky for Rakes. I'm really curious how much percent he's on. I can't check his tires. It's like, it kinda sucks. Like, you get a bit of data. Obviously, we know how much ERS each driver has and stuff. But you can't check the tire wear. I feel like that would maybe be OP for race engineering, I guess, if someone was using the data acquired here. I mean, even that you can see ERS is kind of unfair sometimes, because the other driver does know when to defend then, and Rakes is coming into the pits, and I assume for a soft stint then, because why would he go that far if not for the soft compound? There we go. Beautiful pit stop animation. Tires were definitely not on the car before they put it on them. And where's he coming out, really? He has a lot of pit lane left to go, but I think he's still gonna be ahead of Aries. Aries, of course, coming through with the speed here. Sector 2 and Sector 3, yellow flag. Probably gonna be some lappings again. And yeah, Rakes is long gone. Aries here, up in P2. I think the only thing you can really hope for is that Rakes is gonna get a flat spot at some point. Tires don't make it to the end. It is 10 laps, which I think is possible if you can get the mediums for 23 laps. But yeah, we'll see how Kurtz does with his hards. Nuve has closed the gap a tiny bit at least, but it seems like Kurtz is running a better top speed setup, to be honest, as he's gained 0.3 on the straight. But I think at some point Kurtz's tires should be considerably worse than Noofs, and Noof's gonna be waiting for that opportunity to arise, to, yeah, make a move potentially. Top 3 are looking rather clear, unless Ares can close up to Rakes now, which is highly unlikely, given that Rakes is on the soft compound now. And we have no real on-track battles, really. Yeah, the thing that's happening at Brandau here, I think, is an unlapping of Muno, or rather Muno, who just got lapped. It's quite interesting how much these drivers differ from race to race. Muno was in the top 3 for a good time, at least in qualifying, in Bahrain, but now is running in 15th. Spain, obviously being a track many people don't like. Nuve has gotten very close now. Has also put in a very good lap, actually. Only 0.1 behind his PB. Yeah, and now he has DRS again, and can put some pressure on Kurzer for free, as Kurzer will likely not be able to defend against him. So, last 7-8 laps approaching. Thiago Torres has spun in Sector 3. Has to try to let Aris through here. Does so very well. And into last sector, Aris goes. Top 2, far away from everyone else. Rakes, of course, with his soft compound. After his ridiculously long medium stint, has a very good time right now. I feel like only the last 2-3 laps are going to be a little bit of pain for Rakes here. And yeah, he's likely going to have the fastest lap as well, unless Marslian and Kurzer, yeah, Kurzer are gonna contest that one. Kurzer in the pits, there we go. He's going for the soft stint. Marslian, what is he gonna do? I think he's gonna go through. Yep. Kurzer should still come out in front of Fabian Gaming, and even if not, I think he is able to drive the gap away with his soft compound. As Fabian Gaming's on the start-finish straight, and I think we should see Kurzer exiting the pits right over there. Should be enough for him, yeah. Look how far he is away, already into turn 1. No chance for Fabian to do anything, and we'll see. We'll have an eye on the distance between Kurz and Marslian. Because I think that is the target for Kurzer for sure. I don't know if he will reach Nuve in the late stages of this race, but he'll surely try to get that P6 back. As Marslian's on very old hearts as well. Fastest lap is probably gonna be a thing for Kurzer as well. He can push a little bit harder than Rakes. He has, yeah, he doesn't have to worry as much about tires anymore. Oh, and Aris with his spin. Luckily, he has had quite a lead over Tame Tom. But yeah, he has to care to not bin it again here. As, yeah, that behind him is one of the Alpines. So no threat for him. Must be Muno, actually. Or is it not? Well, let me have a look. No, it's actually He Loves. And yeah. He's approaching Ares, but nothing to worry about. Can't really fight, or shouldn't really fight, that is. In the meantime, Mealy is slowly but steadily closing up to Tame Tom. He has been about 3.5 seconds away 3 laps ago, and has consistently gained 0.3 per lap. And yeah, it's getting closer and closer in this late stage of the race. Only 6 more laps to go for the leader. Which is a quite long stint on the soft compound, I think, given that these are already 4 laps old. Not the best exit here for Mealy, but it will do. It doesn't lose him much more time. And yeah, you see His goal is just inside there. Tame Tom. He's visible from here, but he's still a good bit away, and to get an attack going is gonna be even harder, given that Melee has so little ERS. Tame Tom here is sitting on 94%. He's been hoarding that stuff for a potential attack. I feel like you can probably just push like 1 or 2 laps to get that out of your system again. Oh, Eric Pablo is approaching the points here, actually. Will get DRS due to, I think that's Muno again? We don't know. One of the Alpines, both of them are a lap down, I think. Yeah, it must be Muno. Hilevs is not too far back. But yeah, Eric Pablo, given that he has a reasonable pace, I think he should be able to pass one, if not both, McLarens in the remainder of this race. 5 laps to go, he has 50% ERS. Should be enough to give him 1 or 2 good overtaking opportunities. And yeah, maybe getting 1 or 2 points here. As Brandao is really struggling with the track limits a little bit. He's going wide quite often. I mean, he has the 2 warnings already for corner cut-in. He's going very wide here, and I think Eric, with a risky line there, almost lost his car. But ultimately, with the way better exit... Oh, and that's a little bit of a dive defense there. Contact between the 2 drivers. I think this... another bit of contact. Oops. And it is Brandao, who is on the losing end of this battle. I think he would have been passed anyways. Eric Pablo looked like he had good pace. But yeah, contact's not making things much better. Eric Pablo, though, can chill, theoretically. As long as he stays in the 3-second window to DP, who has 1 penalty, I think. He's gonna be fine. Further up, Melee is getting closer and closer. Now below 2 seconds here, just in Sector 3. Aris is cruising in P2, still has a 9-second window to work with. He does not have to risk much. Melee here. Not the best exit here. I think he's gonna lose on the straight a little bit again. He always loses in the last corner, but then ultimately wins out on the straight. This time not, I think. Yeah, Tame Tom has started to use some ERS on the exits of each braking zones, like in the acceleration. Now this is driving what I like to see. Yeah, that's what I thought. Eric Pablo is probably gonna get another chance. Sector 2, Sector 3, yellow flags, probably gonna be one of the Alpines being lapped again. As... Ooh. Sector 1 and 2... Oh. That's not been... Wait. That's Kurtz in the wall. Now that is rather unfortunate. I hope it has nothing to do with Con. Because Con was up there as well and ultimately set his car into the wall afterwards. And Con being lapped there should not be engaged in fighting. Oh, Ari's so mad about the safety car. Well, well, well. We're gonna see. It's gonna be 1 more lap behind the safety car here. Oh, or 2 rather, I think. In the F1 game, it always restarts. Oops, Ari's having to... What?! Bruh. I mean, to be fair, you were leading the race and you did just drive past a safety car. What did you expect? But, yeah, that sucks. That sucks. Classic Aston Martin moment, I guess. I'm very sad for you. It was a good race. You were comfortably sitting in P2. If this race would have been finished behind a safety car, which it will never because it doesn't finish behind the safety car, you probably had good chances at the win here. Yeah, I mean, okay, so you say that, but at the like you still went past the safety car, my guy. I'm sorry, but what? This is not the game's fault. I mean, it's harsh from the game to disqualify you for that, but ultimately, yeah. I think you would be disqualified for that RL as well. Like, I mean, it's been a good race for you at least, pace-wise. It's sad, obviously, that it doesn't work out in the end now. But yeah. Here we go. Safety car. Just when I thought this was a boring race. What do you mean, Herbie? We're at Aris in P2. What do you, like... Yeah, and also we have 8 DNFs again. It's been wild in here. Top 3 are the only ones who closed up to the safety car, by the way, so far. I don't know when the safety car is intending on getting back in. Yeah, pace was so good. Apart from my spins, I was similar to Rakes and pace. Yeah, really true. It is really unfortunate, I guess, that this happened to you. It's sad, yeah man, it's sad. I feel you, I feel you. You drove a very good race here, but that's what I think good prep gets you, like if you do the same thing for Miami. Obviously it's a little bit of a different track, but I think you can be competitive up there again. But yeah. Sucks to lose so much preparation in such a simple moment. Well, well, well. The top 7 have closed up to the safety car again. And safety car's in this lap. Fabian is gonna hurry to get back in there. On his soft compound. I think we're gonna go to the TV camera again. And have a look at what Rakes is doing. Rakes, of course, it's not the first restart behind the safety car for him. He has had plenty of experience in Formula Sundays with that. Hey, at least Con is still in. It's Con AI, by the way. Con has left the session. Not in the FS server, oh no. Okay, Rakes, when will he go? I think he does just go, right? Yeah, everything is up to full pace again. Tame Tom is now looking for a move, or is Mealy the first one to try to go for a move down the inside? Lap 32 of 33, we have 2 more laps of racing to go. Oh, sorry. And it's Marcelian actually getting past Nuve into turn 1 and into P4 right now for him. Good recovery, amazing safety car for him personally. As Rakes is under some pressure by Tame Tom and Mealy, who are just behind him. But they can't quite make a move happen just yet. Fabian Gaming is already past DP. Further down the field here, around the outside, gets the traction on the soft compound. Nuve and Eric Pablo in a little bit of a battle, but Eric Pablo can't compete with the new soft compound, and Nuve stays ahead. Let's hop on board with Fabian Gaming here, who's just behind Eric Pablo, and it's going to be the next one to make a move on him, most likely. Has the ERS. The ERS, of course, will not be activated for the remainder of this race again. So it's all gonna be, yeah, tractioning out of corners and getting the better exit. Did Con take someone out? I think he took out Kurtzer, but I'm not too sure. I might be mistaken. Kurtzer just coincidentally DNF'd in a very similar spot where you wouldn't necessarily DNF. Okay, Bree confirming that. I assume there's the Ascension watch party again. Rakes with the fastest lap just in the last one. Let's jump over to Mealy. I think he has better chances to go for a move than Fabian has. But yeah, Tame Tom going very deep into turn 1. This could be a good exit for Mealy, but I think he lost traction just a tiny bit and is now under attack by Marcel. But hey, Marcel spins here. Is going out and losing a lot of positions here, getting passed by DP even on the old hards. Thiago Torres is up in the points actually here, and Marcelian all the way down to P10. Mealy in P3. Still gonna be having a chance at Tame Tom. One last chance, last lap of course. Rakes is relatively safe up there. And, yeah. I think he's gonna win this after a well-controlled race. Has been leading it start to finish. Will get the fastest lap most likely. And we'll have Mealy here trying to go for a move on Tame Tom in these last few corners. Can really just do it in the exit of this chicane. He's so close. Can he get a good exit here? But I think that's not it. The finish line comes relatively early. And Rakes with the fastest lap takes the win. Mealy in P3 behind Tame Tom, who gets another podium for himself. Newf in P4. Good day for the Alphas. Eric Pablo up in P5. Thiago Torres makes it all the way to P6. DP in 7th. Hilevs gets a point, or rather 2 in 8th. And that has been quite a bit mix-up in the end with that last incident and thus the safety car. Well. I am curious to see how the final standings ultimately are. As we're loading for the podium, Rakes is gonna claim a maiden victory in this season, I think. He has had many in the past, but I think the first one was Marcel Jan and the second one did not quite go to Rakes' plan. So, yeah. It's a first time on the top step of the podium for the Finn, or the Estonian. He's both. Let's see what flag he's racing for here. But yeah, behind Tame Tom, who has been doing good so far, and the Alfa Romeos. Very nice result for them. Mealy here on the podium, but Newf immediately behind him. A bit of an unfortunate spin for Marceljan in the end. Could have been a good recovery drive from all the way down after being involved in lap 1 shenanigans. Yeah. What a wild race again. I thought we would be getting more than 9 finishes, and I wasn't mistaken that it would only be 12 though. I did not quite think. Rakes in P1 in the end, from the second spot off the grid. Followed by Tame Tom, Mealy and Newf in the Alphas, as said. Eric Pablo, quite a good recovery drive as well, and Thiago Torres from P20 up into P6, very nice. GP and Hilevs going from far down the grid, very far up. Fabian must have lost his car somewhere, because he was running in P6 or 7 before, but I think lost 3 or 4 positions towards the end of this race. Still in the points though, and Marceljan ultimately claiming 2. Run down Con, the last registered finishes by the games, and then we have a whole bunch of DNFs. Well, that has been it from this week in Formula Sundays. It's been a wild race again, from me, and I think from all the drivers participating. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.